Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. It's been a hot minute. I kind of had to readjust and remember how to stream, but here we are with a donation deck list from that Maverick Joe. And it looks pretty cool. This is very similar to a list that I was playing around with once Hello Newton had added Fiend Artisan into Legacy Elves, because this card is obviously really nice in a toolbox deck. And Elves has been moving towards being a little bit more toolboxy, especially in Newton's hands, than the traditional lists you used to see that had a lot of 4-ofs and not many 1-ofs. This list also has cards like Virtue's Ruin as a way to get through initiative at the moment, and so the main deck actually doesn't have many white cards. We don't have Thalia, Mother, Spirit of the Labyrinth. This deck goes heavy into the Green Suns package, and then also just a little bit into the Fiend Artisan package with cards like Sheoldred, which is pretty cool, and also Solitude. The mana base is pretty nice, and one card that you might not expect to see here is Swamp. And Joe's thoughts on Swamp was a little similar to how I've been playing Mountain in Punishing Maverick, and just wanting a stable way to cast my red spells against blue-red Delver, or in this case, a Swamp for black spells against creature decks that most likely have cards like Wasteland. Swamp is also pretty nice against decks where you just want to be making your land drops, maybe against something like blue-white Stoneblade, where they have a lot of basics and cards like Stoneforge Mystic. I might want to have the Swamp for Opposition Agent in case of things like Back to Basics. So the Swamp should be pretty interesting. It's obviously a pretty high value point in having that Swamp there. You only get 15 sideboard cards, and to spend one on a basic land, you have to have a real good reason for it. But I do think that the reasoning for the Swamp is there. The only thing is that Death and Taxes right now doesn't see too much play, but Mono White Stompy does. So some of the black cards are great there, but Mono White Stompy doesn't play Wasteland. So is there a case of the Swamp being needed? Are we bringing in many black cards against something like Blue-Red Delver? Like Sudden Edict, I think, is a great card and a really nice removal spell. But yeah, I guess testing will show us. The other thing you might see here is the return of Scavenging Ooze as ongoing graveyard hate, and 3 Sylvan Libraries. 3 Sylvan Libraries. 3 Sylvan Libraries is something you only really see in Naya Depths, and even with the printing of Minsk and Boo, and kind of how the format's been warped towards a lot of card draw hate, you don't even see 3 that often. So I think it'll be cool to see how the Sylvan Libraries go for us. There aren't many cards out of Initiative that do care about Sylvan Library, and potentially it could just be too fast. 4 life is a lot, especially when you can kind of put yourself at 15 against Mono White Stompy, seeing you're probably going to lose 5 automatically to the Initiative, so we'll see how that goes. And although we have no Mother of Runes, we do have Sylvan Safekeeper. And Sylvan Safekeeper is just a really nice Green Sun Zenith target, because you get to protect your Collector Oofs and your Gaddock Teegs against combo, or also things like Opposition Agent from cards like Swords to Plowshares. So that should be pretty cool. I also just wanted to go over a few more things that I had from the pre-notes. So Joe's built this to pretty much just have a good game against a lot of the other fair mid-range decks. He was having a bit of an issue against Delver, and here we have the Sudden Edicts, which is nice. I could see Path to Exile here as well, but Sudden should be pretty cool. I mean, Sudden not being able to get countered is really big. And then, yeah, obviously we talked about the Swamp, and then just some small other things. Reanimate is always one that's a bit tricky. We have the Endurances, but we don't have anything else. And I think, like, it's really tough because online we do face a lot of combo within the leagues, but at the same time, if you're not playing them locally, you don't really want to test against them. So we'll see how this goes. A huge thank you again to Maverick Joe for the list. Looking forward to seeing, yeah, how Maverick fares. I also like how the sideboard is pretty clean. Like we have artifact and gate, artifact enchantment hate, we have combo hate, I guess combo hate including opposition agent, and then we just have removal. So that should be pretty, should cover us pretty well. We're playing Joe Junk Maverick, we're using play points. Nice. Play match. Now when I switch, hopefully, nice, it should come across pretty well. Hey, there we go. And I can even put chat over here. Beautiful. All right. Not so beautiful. We have a hand where we just can't cast our spells, which obviously isn't a great thing in the scheme of things. So I am pretty happy just to mulligan this. And this is a great hand. We can bottom the Bojuka Bog. Probably a card I want to have at instant speed through something like Knight of the Reliquary. And here we have Acceleration in Birds of Paradise to Grist, which is a great threat. We have Removal in Prismatic Ending. We have our Mana online. We also have Wasteland to interact, so pretty happy to keep this. And bottom the Bog. I think here I'm also happy just to run out the Bayou and hold the Winthrop Teeth for now. See what our opponent wants to do. If I could get a viewer to say something in chat, just to make sure that my chat is also working, that would be stellar. And make sure that the viewer's all good, the mic syncs up okay. Hopefully it's sounding all good. You know what? It's nice to be back playing Maverick. I will say that. Starfox, too kind. Too kind. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have some nice time off over Christmas over in WA. My housemates are actually moving over to WA next year. Look at that. It's 2022, but some things do not change. I don't really want a Wasteland here, but if we draw a 1-drop, I'd be more than happy to. Knight makes me just want to go towards 3 mana here. Yeah, it's nice to be back streaming. I feel like yeah, just nice to have a break. I was out for work last week in Sydney, but nice to be back. I have all next week off as well, so looking forward to getting through some content. So they chose not to shuffle swords. Okay. I think here I'm more happy to... Oh. I wonder if this is going to be a trop into Stifle. Oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. Well, I think here as well, the Wasteland is just better for us because of our cards in hand. Obviously, we want to get these threats down ASAP, so... Hey Panda, too kind. 25 months is pretty nice. That is more than a year. Fact. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Now we're in a little bit of a pickle, because we don't have white mana. And it's going to be a Murktide. Alright. Well, this game could be over in a matter of 3 turns. Tough. Stifle's a hard card to play around because when I am looking for land, I obviously don't want to fetch to lower the chances of me drawing into a land. But I also don't know what colors I want. Like if I lost the Bayou and then got to a position where I could maybe cast the Grist, I'd be pretty happy to go for a scrub land. Best case here is a land and a white source. They chose not to shuffle, which would allow me to swords and also grist. But that is going to be it. All right, boarding. I like the sudden edicts. The swamp is definitely interesting. Even just as basic number 4, because that allows me to play around days on something like a knight without actually having to worry about having a dual land in play. The oof is an easy cut. 2 libraries I don't mind cutting. I don't mind keeping 1. And it's really just a test to see, because we are bringing in extra removal, I could see it coming out. I actually don't mind the opposition's agents, obviously the endurance, but the plague engineers, against things like Delver and DRC. Like I don't think we're in a position to Safekeeper. That's not really the resource trade that I want to be making. The Knight of Autumn and, to be fair, the library are pretty easy cuts. Pretty happy to run that. This is a really tough hand because we have the Dried Arbor already. And our white mana is the Noble Hierarch. The issue here is, if we play Bayou Noble Hierarch, there's a really low chance we get to untap with Hierarch, and then we don't even have land into Green Suns for Dried Arbor. I'm actually pretty happy to mulligan this, unfortunately. It lines up pretty well. Like, 1 more land would be nice, but we're just not there. This is better, and I don't mind Green Sunning for a Dried Arbor to start, because Green Sunning for Dried Arbor and pulling out a Bolt potentially allows us to get the Fiend Artisan and Knight of the Reliquary out of Bolt range, but I have seen cards like Unlicensed Hearse come in post-board, which could be pretty tough. I am keeping this. What am I dropping? I still like the Hierarch. It honestly could be the Knight. Try to rely on the Fiend. Fiend doesn't do anything, though, without other creatures in play. So I could see actually Fiend going back. And then my line of Canopy into Green Suns for Dried Arbor. It's tough because we already have the Noble Hierarch. I don't really want to get the Noble Hierarch hit by something like Bolt, though. I think Dried Arbor is the card that I care less about, but as well, I don't just want to draw into lands and then have kind of wasted a Green Sun Zenith on just mana acceleration when I have that in Hierarch. See how this plays out. I think the Canopy as well shows weakness in mana. The scary thing is as well is that once you see Stifle once, you think about it all the time. Okay. So the force from that Green Suns makes me think that they have a Wasteland in hand. Because they're trying to take me off mana here. So if they have Wasteland, they have 3 other cards. What are the chances they kept a hand with just Scalding Tarn Wasteland? Because the Dried Arbor is still in the deck, I'm a little more happy to Wasteland the Volk here. Because even if they Wasteland us to kind of reset, 1 green source allows us to again try to ramp into that Dried Arbor. So I actually don't mind going after the Volk here. And there's the Wasteland. But they have a land. I think that play only makes sense. They chose to not shuffle, but I think it only makes sense if they do have a backup land. It's tough now because I kind of want to just Endurance them, but we'll see if they draw into a fetch land and then try to fetch straight away. Just a Wasteland. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's a start. I think here I'm happy to try to hit this by getting rid of the Knight. The Knight we're not really casting at this stage, so... Guess they could have Stifle? No. Okay. Happy to try to build out my mana here. I'd also rather throw one of my 2 Green Suns into a Daze than throw the Sword. Tough. Not too much to say. Maybe the mana in the first game, and going for Dried Arbor first instead of Noble Hierarch. But then if they force the Green Suns and waste us off the Canopy, it's still pretty rough. Tough spot for sure. And probably a matchup where I would... I don't know if Rug's playing basics, so the paths in that matchup would be really nice. Like getting two mana through Wasteland and also Stifle can be pretty tough if there is a switch back to Rug. And I assume the switch to Rug is mainly because Stifle is quite good against Initiative, and Tarmogoyf's quite good against just their creatures. Especially because Tarmogoyf quickly becomes a 3/4, which can block White Plume and then obviously get bigger from there. I've seen a fair bit of Rest in Peace as well out of Mono White, so that's pretty interesting. Be right back. We'll be cool on Saturday. Gonna have XJ Cloud back on the stream for a Mono White Initiative stream. I've only played the deck a few times. I've only played against it once. And it will be cool having John on because he obviously knows quite a bit about the deck. Has had some really good finishes with the deck. And yeah, all around good guy. Also, watch Owl House. I've heard good things. I think he's a fan. I think he's seen a few episodes and really enjoyed it. Don't think he's seen the whole thing though. So keen to see his full thoughts. I believe Trees Down is Max Dortion, who is running around with Mono White. Stifro most likely just on Stifro Pile. Learn to Love most likely just on Blue-Red Delver. Could be playing Rug. I know Rich Carly streamed this morning. Tony Scapone, I believe, still on Mono Red. It's quite a jump from 3. Oh, not really. I believe Frodo BG is John. I think. Alright, Galaxy. No green mana, which I think is just too much to handle. I'm a big fan of trying to keep a hand that has the mana where it... Alright, I guess we keep... these. It at least is a bit of a plan. Stifler is a beast for sure. Okay. Interesting. Death Shadow. I will not pay for days. Okay. This actually means I don't want to play the Caracas in case I want to play the Leovold next turn. Him? The best case here is probably holding the Leo. Yeah, there goes my guess. Okay. There's not too much I can do with Green Suns at the moment. I can go for Fiend Artisan though, which isn't too bad. Hey Jerry, a huge thank you for the Prime. I hope you're well as well. Hope you're having a nice Christmas. And I very much appreciate you. A huge thank you. Alright, we got a 4-4. Just had a copy as well. I could definitely do with another. But see how this finishes. Underground Sea. Lily. Okay. I was gonna say Knight is a pretty good draw. We do need to untap with it. Gurmag, 2 mana. Okay. 1 card left. Another Knight is actually very good. Because now we also have Dried Arbor to fetch up if we do want to respond to the Lily activation. Yeah, so let's go sack this. Windswept. Fetch. Make this a 5/5. Get Dried Arbor. And now we sack the Dried Arbor. This is now a 6/6. You got 2 5/5s. That's going to be a pass. Another Shadow. Okay. Can you imagine Swords to Plowshares right now off the top? Can you imagine? Ah. Oh. Is there a way? Okay. I feel like I can play the Fiend Artisan here off a Cradle, and then potentially get towards Solitude. Because Solitude on the Gurmag, I believe, deals with everything? 3, 4... Oh, so close. A land off the top would actually be very, very good. No Sajiri step, correct. Oh, there we go. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so, okay. Okay. Little... So make sure I get this. I think this works. Yeah. Wow. Because what we can do is fetch for a Savannah, float a mana, fetch for a Bayou, float a mana. 3 mana is 5 plus 6, and then we can Fiend Artisan and Knight into Solitude the Gurmag, and then they lose both Death Shadows. Insane! Especially from a Mulder 4. Pretty great. Just some small tweaks here. I like the Suddens. I don't mind the Swamp. I kind of like taking out Oof, doesn't really do a whole lot. Night of Autumn doesn't do a whole lot. And probably just one library. They do have the Reach. They don't have the Reach, sorry. For, like, Lightning Bolt, of course. Hey, Punishing Waterfalls. I know, right? Ever since Newton had given me some thoughts about Maverick. So it's nice to see Joe put them in there. Okay. Take the Grist. Okay. Oof. A lot of gas in hand. Just want to try to draw into... Like, I really wouldn't mind just land. Or Green Suns. We haven't seen Stifle here, and I'd much rather just play around Wasteland than Stifle. Also, then paying 2 mana for the, or 2 life for the Watery Grave doesn't mean too much, seeing that we know what they're on. But the Swamp's pretty nice. It's also just a land we can play that can't be hit by Wasteland. It allows us to play the Swords to Plowshares around Days. It allows us just to cast the Sudden Edict, which is pretty nice. Okay. Pretty happy to fetch here for a Savannah. And... Probably just Swords it. Yeah. Just trying to think about, like, mana. But if I draw a land next to it, I'm just slamming a Knight anyway. That's fine. Oof, different types of Thoughtseize. Come on. Ooh, close. Force is fine. Ah, I think this mana base isn't playing a trop. Yeah, that's the only thing that I am weary of, is not playing the trop for Leo. Means we have to get a Birds of Paradise or a Noble Hierarch into play to be able to get Leo into play. But we'll see if it comes up. We haven't drawn into a fetch land, technically. So, if we draw into a Green Suns first, it doesn't really matter here. Okay, there we go. I'll go for Noble Hierarch, because it allows us to attack for 2 with the Dried Arbor. Wow, they're going to force that? I wonder why. They don't know about Leo. Okay. Maybe, I guess because of the Sudden Edict, they just wanted to keep creatures off the table? Nothing great to Wasteland just yet, but they're going to go after that. Oh, that's a fantastic top deck. Especially at 19 life. The issue here is that if we do find a fetch land, we have hit a situation where we can't cast. We don't. But honestly, with no shuffle, I'm pretty happy just to pay here. Play the Bayou so we can cast the Endurance at the end of draw step. Nice. There we go. We're on the board. And 2 different Woody Graves, very true. But yeah, I think that's probably a good point. I'm just going to write that down in the notes. Trop for Leo. And I guess also, like, consideration for Path to Exile. Nearly flawless, Arnie. Nearly flawless. I hope you're doing well as well. Look, I don't mind it. The Oof makes this a 6, but with the Cradle, it kind of makes me want to go for Dried Arbor early on. But with so much mana, I don't really want to go for Dried Arbor early on. To be fair, turning on 3 drops is just so good that I don't mind going for Dried Arbor here. Probably just off a Savannah. That allows me to have mana in play for Swords to Plowshares. Been sick 3 times in 2 months. Tough, dude. I hope you feel better soon. Nice. Pretty happy just to play Oof and then attack with Dried Arbor. Could technically still be on Elves from our opponent's position. Strix. Okay. Snuff out. Aggressive. Okay. I don't mind keeping them back either. Honestly, in this matchup, this Collector Oof is just a mana dork that allows me to tap the Cradle. And I guess it also allows me to play around Sudden Edict to some extent, so there is a world where Collector Oof does a little bit of work here. Next turn we can Green Suns for Grist, potentially. I assume they just hardcast the Brazen Borrower here. Ah, I didn't see this coming. Guess that's kind of free, which is nice. I'll get the Bayou. I think I allow them here to have it, and then next turn go for either Endurance or go and get Removal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess with a land off the top we can do both. We can Endurance and then Cradle Taps for 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 mana, Green Suns for 3. Hey Master G, a huge thank you for the sub. Also, is there a difference between talking here and talking here? I assume there's a little bit more echo, where it sounds like I'm in a room if I'm back here. But if I'm here, does this sound a little bit more crisp? I'm not sure. But maybe I should be talking from here. Oh, it does? Nice. Okay. Ooh, Leo's pretty nice here. I actually like Leo a lot. And then here, I could Green Suns for Sylvan's Safekeeper if I really want to keep the Leo around. I could also just hold up the Endurance. I don't mind that, because I think Green Suns for Grist is kind of my way to deal with this Changeling Outcast if it does come back down. So I'm just going to pass here with Endurance open. Hey Bob Mans, a huge thank you for the Prime sub. Too kind, too kind. What's the switch here? Riku. Okay. They don't draw, which is nice. They reveal Brainstorm, which thankfully isn't that great. I will target them. Alright. Now we go for Grist. Ooze is free here, correct? Well, Ooze costs 1, I guess. Now we're in an interesting spot. I assume if the Changeling Outcast attacks Grist, and then before blocks, they change it to something else. Then we're in a situation where I think I just have to deal with the Changeling Outcast. Getting rid of the Noble Hierarch. And I get to eat it. I mean, do I have a good attack here as well? What if I attack with both? Maybe just the Leo. This also puts him in an awkward spot. We know they have the Brazen Burrow, but that can't block. Hey, thanks, Gabby. It uses last known information and would still be attacking the original thing it was attacking. Cool. Okay. They got a 1. You're a level 2 judge? Very cool. A big congrats. That's awesome. This is fine, as they still don't draw any cards. I will just eat something to make sure I don't die to just like triple force off the top. They don't have removal, which is huge for the Leo. So really interesting to see them not use. This is fine. We have the prismatic ending for this. Three cards left. We know one is a brainstorm. They're going to ponder, but they don't draw. They have two cards left. I believe one is still a brainstorm. Nice. Very cool. A pretty back and forth matchup. Okay. This one's always a little bit tough. I do like the Plague Engineers, the Sudden Edicts, and the Endurance. Their mana's typically pretty weak, so I don't believe they run Wasteland, so I don't think I need the Swamp. But they do play back to basics I've seen before. So I will play the Swamp over a Wasteland. Just because they do actually... maybe it's over the Bog. They don't typically use their graveyard that much, and there is a world where there starts on Underground so you can get there. Because we have Plague Engineer and also Prismatic Ending, just in case they have Retrofit of Foundry, I don't think we need the Collective Oof. And we can keep Knight of Autumn as a just in case. They are pretty aggressive, so I don't mind going down on a library. Grist is nice, Knights are nice. Knights are just big creatures. I could see Safekeeper going as well. Usually we're pretty tight on mana. I still like Sheoldred, I think. Especially it's just a 4/5 body, and whenever they draw a card, of course, they lose life, which means that attacking with the creatures that draw cards isn't as great. It might just be the libraries here. And then rely on Leo to draw cards and Grist to grind. But maybe one library isn't too bad. I wonder if they're playing Plague Engineer as well. Ooh. I don't mind this. The mana really relies on the dorks, but they're not a burn deck, which is nice. So Knight being just a 2/2 on turn 2 isn't too bad. It's probably the most amount of times I've said 2/2 in the same turn. Wow, so they get a 4/4 straight away, which is pretty sweet. Okay. Just gonna lead on the Noble, because we don't need double black until the next turn, and I'd rather the Noble die to an effect than anything else. That's fine. You can get these sort of free wins as well in Hammer Time, which is cool. Especially against like Delver in game 1. They can't really deal with a 4/4 outside of Bounce, or potentially a Unholy Heat. Will they get rid of this Outcast for another 4/4? That's the big question. They will. Pretty happy just to try to swords one now. I'm going to start with Knight here, and then probably just play the Dried Arbor for turn. I can also attack with the bird. Chose to shuffle pretty quickly, which makes me kind of think they kept a hand where they just wanted to have this Retrofitter going and maybe like a Gurmag. Murderous cut. Okay. I'm pretty happy to put this in front. Green Suns. Okay. I think here we just Green Suns for Night of Autumn and take out this. One, two, three. Could also go for Grist. We'll see if it actually resolves or not. It does. I could take the Foundry out, but we're also in a position where it's going to be hard to beat. I guess we have the Ooze to kind of keep the Construct at bay. So we could just go for Night of Autumn on the Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's go for... My other thought is like Plague Engineer is a live draw, and Plague kind of just deals with the Retrofitter Foundry as well. But yeah, I think there is a world where we take out the 4/4, leave the Foundry, and the Foundry just gets a little bit too good. I'm also keeping the bird back just in case they're aggressive on killing the Night of Autumn. I think I'm happy just to take this. That's pretty nice. See if this resolves first. Okay. So we have the Birds of Paradise to block the Ornithopter. We have Ooze, which can grow to a 4/4 and potentially trade with the Construct. So I don't mind here just going after the Ornithopter. Pretty happy just to eat the Changeling Outcast, go to 5. I will block here. And then next turn we get to play the Ooze. Oh, Scrubland. So they have Brazen Burrower. I mean... 1, 2, 3... But we can only eat 2 things. I think Sheldred's just the play here. Oh, but do I cast the Ooze? I think I do here. I assume now they might have days. Okay. That's fine. This doesn't know how to snuff out, which is kind of nice. Hey Jide, welcome. Chose to shuffle. It's good for us. They play an island. Do they just attack with the Brazen? They do. Can they kill us? We'll get a 1. Why not? Okay. Do they have any good attacks here? I don't think they do. If priority goes back to me, I'm pretty happy to wasteland the Underground Sea before they go to second main. Happy to take out the Underground Sea. I guess we just block like this. Wow, it sticks. Alright, we run it back. The Canopy is also gain 2 life as well. Wow. Really close. Alright. Do I want to do that? Yeah, because worst case, we get to turn the Birds of Paradise into a Endurance, which blocks the Brazen Burrower. Oh, we just draw the Endurance, but we don't have the mana for it. One, two, three, four. They had removal last turn, they would have got rid of the Ah, sorry, I need to have green. There we go. I think we're just getting... Oh, Grist. Oh, Plague? Because that's a rogue? No, I think Endurance is just best here. Yeah. Interesting, though. They go to 9. Sheldred really pulling her her weight here. It's gonna be fine. If I attack with the Fiend Artisan, they have to block, because then they just lose 2 life in the draw step. So I think I do get to attack with the Fiend Artisan here. Or I attack with Sheoldred. No, but they most likely double block there. My only thought of not Fiend Artisaning is that I can turn the Endurance into something else, but I think attacking here is fine, because it does put lethal on the board. I think I also just like holding the Wasteland here as an unknown. And now these two are kind of just like the Abyss. Wow. Wow. That was a huge game. Nice. That was sweet. That's pretty cool. Ninjas can be tough, especially from like a resource trading perspective. Usually the creature you're targeting with your removal spell has already like drawn a card or got some sort of value. That always feels really tough, even to like Swords to Plowshares, one of their 4-drops, which is usually a pretty good trade, but it's usually drawn a card already. So it's kind of the current issue with initiative, is just there's so much value already obtained by the initiative player once you remove something. That's just a massive feel bad. I think that's probably a matchup again where the Trop would have been nice, and potentially even Toxic Deluge over 3rd Virtue Ruin. Right, well. Again, just mana issues, which is pretty tough. Not really a hand we can keep. A lot of removal, but otherwise not great. Better. And I think here I'm just going to bottom the Cradle. Because the Cradle, I guess it could be the Collector Oof. And then just keep the Cradle in case you're up against a deck that doesn't really have a way to remove our creatures. I'm gonna bottom the cradle here. Hey, Shirley, it's Brad. A huge thank you. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying life. Summoner's Pact. Well then, I guess this is oops. We do have the endurance though. 5 cards in hand. 4 cards in hand. 2 cards in hand. Is one a pact? One pact, 2 pact, 3 pact, 4 pact. That's what you want to see. Oh, I did it wrong. I should have, oh no, I did it right. I did it right. I got rid of the endurance first so that they don't get a trigger from their bridge from below. But they do have a 2/3 flyer in the deck, so that's going to be tough. All right. Let's go for Bird. Savannah. Bird's Paradise. Now it's tough because next turn we do have Bojuka Bog off the Knight, so I could see going for Knight next turn just being better. But that is going to concede. Okay. This is a tough one because we don't actually have much for this matchup. I guess we have the Plague. No, Plague Engineers actually don't do anything because even if we get rid of the Narcomoebas, the bridge from belows give them creatures anyway to sacrifice to Dread Return. So we can take those out. I think it's just the Teeg and the Endurance. Actually, the Force of Vigors are quite good because of... oh, they lost a Pact, of course. Of course, I'm an idiot. Apologies for that. Force of Vigors are great for Leyline of Sanctity, and also sometimes Chrome Mox can just buy a little bit of time. The libraries are typically too slow. Solitude's not too bad. Sheoldred's way too slow. Grist. Ramunap. Like, the agents might just be better than anything else. Like, Safekeeper too slow. Leo. I mean, this is 60. There's nothing else that I really want here. Yeah. This matchup is going to be oops all spells. So, probably want to mulligan to either like a Force of Vigor hand or a Endurance hand. This is an Endurance hand. And it has it's like turn 2 Gaddock Teeg. And if they're going on a slower pace, then I don't mind keeping this. But I could see where this actually blows up in our face a little bit. Oh, tapped? Well, that kind of makes me want to Wasteland it. Yeah. They can do Narco Power because they run Bridge from Below, which allows them to get zombies from the 1/1s and therefore go off with the zombies by sacrificing those instead. Alright, we bought just a little bit of time here. Another Noble isn't too bad as it's something to pitch to the Force of Vigor. In case they have Chrome Mox, then the following turn we can Green Suns for Gaddock Teeg, and hopefully that's it. So if they cast Chrome Mox here, I'm happy to force that before they can tap it for mana. Oh, they don't do anything. Right. Green Sun's Fatigue here stops Dread Return, which is pretty huge. It does turn off the Force of Vigor, but there is a world where we can play Caracas, and then if we need to Force of Vigor, we can Caracas back our Teeg and then cast the Force of Vigor. So there's the Chrome Mox. But we can't, of course, force, so we'll allow it. Oh, but we have... No way! We have the Caracas for this! Insane! Insane! You love to see it. That is pretty classic. I do love this, though. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before, which is very cool to see. Alright. Look, we're going strong. We're going strong. To be fair, like, so we faced Oops and could have used more turn 0-1 combo hate, but I feel like even if we had it, wouldn't really have a meaningful impact on the matchup. I think sometimes, like, it makes you mulligan pretty aggressively and they can just come back. Like, I feel like the hate for Oops that we run, Oops are just ready for post-board, so it's tough. Like, although you're bringing in stuff to make the matchup better, they're also bringing in things to answer those cards, so it can be pretty tough. But hey, a quick one for you watching on Twitch and on YouTube. A huge thank you for your support in 2023, especially those who have been here across most of the months. It's been really, really cool. Obviously, I don't stream too much, usually twice a week, but I really appreciate your support. I hope you all enjoy the content. I think I'm going to take the week off in Christmas to really kind of put a little bit more time and effort into the actual stream and how it's all run. But I meant to say 2022, but I also hope to see you in 2023 for an even bigger year, because yeah, there's some things that I've got lined up that I think will be pretty cool, a little bit different, and probably something that Australia, or at least the Australian Eternal scene, hasn't seen too much of, which more details to come. But yeah, it's been cool. I'm just a player from Australia that likes Legacy. And it seems that there's a few people who like Legacy. And fair Legacy, be it that. So, a huge thank you. Means a lot. That's my rant. That's my rant. Would be really cool to finish this 4-1. Alright. Here we go. Chat, what do you think of the hand? What do you think of the hand? What are we doing? Have a good look. And just to give you an idea, I think my opponent might be on 4-color control, but you never know. You never know. Like, we could see Volk Delver here. So, we'll see how this one turns out. I think this is a pretty nice hand. Like, it has all the mana in the world, it has acceleration. If the Noble gets taken out by a Prismatic Ending, that's one less to be taken out by the Sylvan Library, which is quite nice. Oh my gosh. Oh. We said it. We literally said it. Oh, someone's got to clip that. Someone's got to clip that. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. That is actually hilarious. That is very, very funny. Also, I'm leading on the Noble Hierarch here because we don't have many answers to the Delver here, so I do want to be able to play the swords around Daze and respect that. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? Like, look at this. We have all this 4-color control. Pretty much every single deck, and it's like, nah, I'm playing Legacy. I'm playing Delver. It's a Delver day. Draws a Ponder. They chose to not shuffle. Okay. So we know about Daze. I'm going to see if we can fetch here. Okay. I'm just going to get the planes. And I am going to play the library. I think from next turn onwards, we don't have time for it. But here, pretty happy to. I could have also attacked with the Noble Hierarch there because we're not casting the swords. So that's a bit of a messy one, but hopefully it's okay. Also, library, even just digging for removal piece 2 and 3 is enough for me. And to have one fetch left is quite nice as well. Wasteland's fine. No EI, that's pretty nice. Wow. Okay. Interesting take. Put on top, put on top. I'll start with swords. Land, fetch, basic, noble. I guess I could have played the bird first, as it is also flying, which is relevant if they want to daze it, but to be fair, a daze at this stage on a bird isn't that bad. I think there's better things to daze, but at the same time, if they allow the birds to resolve, then that kind of allows me to play around days to some extent. So I can see the days here actually being relevant. Yeah. Is this just pass with Brazen Borrower open? Or do they keep that in the backlog for a little while more? Okay. Magtie's not too bad. They still have 3 cards in hand. Oof. And Lucky Me has a way to fetch. I think here we want to play around days again. And just go... What land makes... The Caracas is a land I'm happy to throw away to the Wasteland. See if this Green Sun's resolve. They might just think of Endurance and not hit it, but they do hit it. Tough. Because that was our shuffle effect as well. Two cards left. I wonder if they bolt the Noble or not. Yeah. Oh. We can't even pay 8. Yeah, we're just dead. Can't even pay 8 to then draw an extra card. Tough. Collect Oof, Library, Plague on the play, Sudden Edict, Endurance, Swamp, Cradle, Night of Autumn. Safekeeper. Really tough. Not much to say though, Delver is Delvers. I definitely kept the hand thinking it was going to be 4 color, but I think in the blind I'd probably keep that most of the time, so it's not really an argument. But yeah, maybe it's a case of... Because we have the Bajuka Bog, I could see Trop over the extra extra Bayou, and seeing we also have the Swamp in the sideboard, this is a pretty great hand. Happy to keep this. Gonna lead on the Noble because it's I'd rather it get hit by a bolt than Birds of Paradise because it's also a flyer. Just gonna get a Bayou here, I think. Yeah, something like Blazing Volley would be pretty tough, but Can't do too much about that. Hey Armifs, welcome. Hope you're well. That's not too bad. We can easily beat that. Fiend. I could double Fiend here or just Sword Edict. I actually do want to do this in my turn, just to keep them from getting any value. They have 2 cards left. I'm pretty happy here just to try to Green Suns for Endurance. Yikes. Okay, just a land. We got some time. But it kind of has to be Endurance at this stage. They also have Mystic Sanctuary here. Just get something back. I think just double spell here is better than Knight, although Knight does get Pajuka Bog. These Fiend Artisans do get Endurance. Counterbalance is interesting. And Murktide. Petty Theft. Okay. I think we just, like, if we Jada Bolt, we Jada Bolt. But I think we have to keep one bird around. Ah. Tough. Yeah. Just too slow. So I believe it was actually both Delver, which Joe did say he's been having issues with Delver, which is always tough because it's kind of the luck of the draw with Mav, like drawing into the right half of kind of this part of the deck. I think if we do go back to the deck and make a new copy. Come on. How do I bring that all back? Solitude. I think I would look at switching these up. I do like the ruins, but they're really only 4 white initiative, which does see a bit of play. I think I'd drop 1 Bayou for a trop so that we can cast the Leo, which I do really like. I think I would try to find room for another ending, and I think I would take out just an extra library, especially if we are going towards beating Delver. Then having the extra removal spell over a card that typically gets sided out is probably a lot more relevant. Ooze is like nice. The life gain can be okay. I also don't mind going down to potentially Path, especially if there is a tick up in Rug Delver, which doesn't typically play any basics. And then it's a tough one. Sheldra did pretty much win us the game against ninjas. The Solitude's nice. We don't often see it, but I think it's good enough. The Safe Gear is kind of in the same spot where it's just nice to have something to hit. I really like the 3 forces in this current metagame. I like the agents. I like the engineers. I don't mind the Virtue's Ruin. I actually really like the Swamp as well. I like the Endurance. I don't mind the Teeg. We do have a fair amount for elves already. Like, Teeg is turning off both our green suns, their green suns, and also their natural order. Also turns off our prismatic endings. But Opposition Agent turns off their green suns, their natural order, their fetches, their fiend artisans, but not our stuff. So I could see a world where we take out the Teeg and potentially play like just a little bit more combo hate. I actually don't mind trying out Noxious Revival, which Newton's been playing in the board against decks like Reanimator. It's obviously quite nice and can get your opponent with Doomsday as well. That I could see Noxious in the board as like the extra copies of Endurance and kind of just doing the same sort of thing. I wouldn't mind something like this. And you know what? Let's run this back. Let's run this back. Yeah, let's run this back. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, and then I'll be back in a second.